It's One Funny Morning, and you're watching Dena Blizzard. Welcome to One Funny Morning Show.
From Monday to Friday.
And sometimes on Saturday.
Why would you say that in front of all these people?
You never know what's gonna happen.
Carmen.
Cortez.
Good morning, everybody.
What's outside your weather door?
Good morning. Uppie. Happy everybody.
Hi, I'm Steak Diane from Cleveland, Ohio, home of the drinking of Luna. And you are watching One Funny Morning with your host, Dena Blizzard.
Lulu, did you see that? Lulu, there was another dog here. It's Luna. Maybe she'll be a co-host one day. You'll be so jealous. You'll try to eat her face. She's like, I will though. It's Steak Diane. You like steak? You like Diane? You like Luna? She's like, I just want to lay with you. Oh, Steak Diane Elizabeth, the bebopper. She's been bebopping all over, enjoying her vacation. Lulu, did you see another dog was here? I think we should have co-host auditions. What do you think? What if it's a little bit of nepotism because we're related, but what if we opened it up, Lulu? Do you think you'd get the job? Lulu, what are your special skills? She's like, I don't really have special skills. I can eat a pine cone. I can pee on your bed. That happened this morning. I can, yeah. Well, she and Con, she got issues. We don't want to talk about it. She didn't get her medicine. Yeah. So, yeah. Going to get my hair highlighted. Excited for some me time. Good for you. She would eat all of the other contestants. You are not wrong, Mary. There it is. That is true. Are you ready to accept that? She's like, why do you say that? Why do you say that in front of all these people? So good morning, everybody. Old Chocolate Lab Lover is here. It's dog day. We should have dog day. We should have dog day. Can everybody please send in pictures or videos of you and your dog? Please. Let's do dog week. Michelle.
Watching the
dog week, dog day. Dog week. When would be? April 1st. Just so you know, all dogs' birthdays. She was like, I am not on board with dog week. Okay? And the more you talk about it, the more I will turn my head.
She literally is.
Mm-hmm. My dog is given a pill when I go to the groomer, so he managed to poop and pee on me 2 separate times yesterday, as well as pee on my bed. I was so done. Couple things. Just so you know, every dog's birthday is April 1st. Why? Because it's the only day I could remember. And one day I went to get medicine for Coco. And when I went to CVS, because for some reason dogs get medicine where I get medicine now, and they said, what's your dog's birthday? And I was like, I have no idea. Do you know? She's like, yeah. And if you can't tell me the birthday, you can't have the medicine. And I was like, okay. So I was calling the kids. Anybody know when Coco's birthday is? Real dumb. So all my dogs' birthdays are April 1st. And I'd like you to join me. And I'd like you to start sending in videos of you and your dogs and introduce your dogs. And introduce yourself and your dog as if your dog has August 26th. It's coming up. International Dog Day, Michelle said. Please send videos.
August 26th?
I want you. Okay, you know what? I changed my mind. I don't want to hear anything about you. I want you to introduce your dogs with dog voices as if they're in a dog pageant. And one will be crowned dog of the day. Dog of the month, day, whatever. Okay? You have to do your dog's voice. So it's a single shot of just your dog. Okay? Look, she was like, if you do this, I will face the opposite direction the entire time. She just moved farther away. She's like, I think we could try to do a cat wig, but I doubt that they're going to sit still. Look at her. She is so mad. I can't. Yeah. Okay, good. I got you. I like the idea, Michelle, of doing a video though, because then I can hear their dog voices, and that's my favorite part. I would love to hear a little bit like, and just be like, hi, I'm Miss, and then I'll put a script together. I'll put it up. So you're going to put in, hi, I'm Miss Lulu Badoo. And I enjoy eating rabbits, trying to catch flies with my mouth like Mr. Miyagi, and facing the opposite direction when angry. Mm-hmm. My sister has the best voice for her dog, Uppie. This is what I'm talking about. That is what I'm looking for. My cat thinks he's a dog. Please, my bunny has a Mexican accent. I will accept all animals. I mean, mostly dogs, but if you want to throw a bunny in there or a cat with an attitude, do it. It's like a pageant and a dating profile. It's the same, Shakendra. Isn't a pageant a dating profile? Isn't a dating profile essentially a pageant? It's all the same. You can call it whatever you want. And I can run super fast. Exactly. My two older cats have Mexican accents too. Okay. This has made my day. Mm-hmm. I have an emotional support stuffed animal. Does it count? Absolutely. Does it have a voice? Tracy, you can pick up a potted plant and it has a voice. I don't care. Allie, I will set up. Missy said, I would like to add sexy poses. You know what? I don't know a dog that doesn't have a sexy pose. I don't know how you're going to get him to do it in a video, but hey, who am I? My 8-week-old kitten talks with an attitude. My cat sounds like Queen Latifah. What if I just walked in on it? I don't know. My cat's voice is very cranky, and that's why I want to hear it. So that's it. Lulu, this is all because of you. Look at her. She's like, I won't even. Okay. Now I really want to see these videos. Yes. Oh, gosh. You need to get that car on the show. The car? What car? I don't know. My dog has a French attitude accent. I don't know what she's doing. We just let Lulu do her thing. She's doing her own thing. I do want to say that could you move your head first? Those flowers are from my garden. Look how beautiful. She's like, why you touch me? Why you touch my face? My miniature Dapple Dotson will howl with a harmonica playing on the Western shows. I hear talent competition. That is what I hear. My cat, when looking at my luggage, when leaving for the weekend, oh yeah, he's got a voice. Flowers are gorgeous. Better yet, I will take a video with the geese family behind me at my beach club. Listen, I'm just looking for some entertainment, and I will play these videos all the time. So you should have Lulu pick the winner. I'm going to be honest. I don't think she's interested. My Grace has a Scottish accent. Oh, Gracie has a Scottish accent, and Daisy sounds like Topo Grigio on Speed. I wish I know what Topo Grigio was. Yeah. Look at my flowers. Oh, she real mad. She real mad. Yeah. My other cat was in a gang in Detroit. She starts every sentence with, I say I kill you. I would like to meet said cat, Kimberly. It's hilarious. What's wrong with us? I don't know. I kill you. So funny. Where's Lucy today? Oh, Lucy's here. Don't get twisted. Lucy is always present, just lingering in the background, waiting to talk about a pool. Was the top mouse on the Ed Sullivan show? Oh, I don't know. Does the dog beat you up when you don't give him a treat? Yes. Michelle, you want some lemonade from my vase? Oh my gosh, look at that giant vase. I was going to fill that up with lemonade and try to drink it. And then I thought, I'm probably going to get hit in the face with some ice. One of my dogs just runs out of the yard and is screaming, bunny, bunny, bunny. And guess what? There's not a bunny. They are hydrangeas. And I just ordered on Amazon. There's this hydrangea plant food. So like if I cut them, then you put a little pump of this food in and it makes it last longer. Andrea, I'll show it to you. So anyway, so it has been a beautiful, crazy time here. Obviously making lots of plans with our dogs. I was saying to Michelle that I'm really excited because I did some big girl things. And I want to ask you what you think. What's your big girl thing? So I'm going to tell you what my big girl thing is. So Diana's still here. She's still staying in the bedroom. And last night we're going through the boxes. I still feel like A, you all still have too much stuff. B, get a box out every day, whatever. So we're going through boxes. Now we have Halloween costumes from when we were kids, and now from my kids were kids. And I had to empty out a closet and just get through a lot of that stuff. So we did that yesterday. So I have, over the 2 years of recreating my life for myself, gone through, I have a rancher, so I went through the top floor, so it looks kind of nice. But I put a lot of stuff in the basement. Then the kids all came home, and they're not allowed upstairs because, the sun is a privilege. And if you don't clean your room, you don't get the sun. So they're all in the basement. So now I had to clean the basement. So, oh yeah, all the costumes are going to Goodwill just in time for the holidays. So, I am finally like putting things away in my room. And last night, big deal, I did a big girl thing, and that is I bought 2 nightstands. And you're like, what? I bought 2 nightstands. Michelle's like, well, you've never had a nightstand before. I'm like, I have never bought nightstands. I had my grandmom's nightstands forever. And then I had like tables that didn't really match. Then one was here and one was there, and the stuff fell and I'm officially an adult. So I want to know. I've never actually purchased my own either. It's so weird. I'm like, why would I do that? And now, like, I'm like, I think I'm gonna be somebody that buys a nightstand. Just so you know, this was an investment in my future, is how I like to look at it. Right. I did a big girl thing. I had a colonoscopy. You know what? Basically the same. I had the janky stuff. Yeah. Listen, if you love your nightstands, and that's the thing. I have tried to love a lot of nightstands, but I did not fix the hole in the floor, Mary. And of course you bring it up. And it's so funny because now that I cleaned out the room, there's a giant piece of masking tape. 2 nightstands that can now be filled with pictures of random men. Do you know how many nightstand pictures I've taken with men? I don't know. I bought a car by myself after my divorce. I didn't do that. That feels like a big deal. I've been putting away a car payment. I feel like it's been about a year So I've been paying a car payment to myself because I feel like if I can pay it now or some semblance of it, then it'll give me a down payment. And then hopefully the real car payment wouldn't be awful. I bought a new bedroom set when I moved here from Jordan's. That's the thing. A lot of the nightstands all have USB ports in them. Yeah. Oh no, I'm not putting these together. No, they're not IKEA treat. Oh, they're just gonna show up. So you need a digital photo frame that rotates all your nightstand pictures of random men. That would be really funny. I bought a new kitchen faucet all by myself. Yeah. I really want a new one, but money. Yeah, still using my bedroom set with my ex. Well, the good news is that we never really had a bedroom set. It was always like furniture from my grandmom or Goodwill or things that I stripped and redid. So yeah. And I don't like a lot of matchy stuff. Do you guys have matchy stuff? Like I'll say, I don't want matchy stuff, but then I'm like, now this doesn't match. Does anybody, you know what I'm talking about? Did you ever do that? You're like, I don't want everything but I do want it to match. It's like that. Yeah. Who's making that? Oh. It's Lulu. I wish I could show you. She's just on the floor. I did come full circle. I picked out a bedroom, living room, dining room. Yeah, but I missed it. Oh, I missed somebody's comment. Had to big girl all my life, said Judy. You're so good. I'm kind of matchy. Changed my tail light, big girl thing. I have matching stuff in my bedroom, not matching in the living room. My whole bedroom set matches, but I like it. Yeah. My dog heard her and perked up. That goes together but doesn't match. Yeah. Everything matches in my house. It is. So like, what is your big girl thing? Like, have you done something you're like, I didn't think I could do that, but I did it. I'm trying to think. I've been doing a couple things that Diana's like, I paid all my bills. That is big girl stuff. Nobody wants that. I bought a car by myself. That's big girl stuff. You're like, oh, I bought a car. Yeah, I love Facebook. I looked on Facebook Marketplace. I looked on, I looked everywhere. And I thought, well, I could do this. My big girl thing was getting divorced 8 days ago. Megan, my big vase for you. Cheers to you. I'm not going to say congratulations because everybody feels some kind of way about it. I thought it was weird when you tell people you're divorced. People either go, or they go, oh, I think I'm in the middle. It's weird. Yeah. So cheers. However you're feeling. Kimberly, cheers to you. I replaced the shower head in my shower. I just did that, Lindsay. Took me 2 trips to Lowe's to do it. It's my bigger 4th time in 1 year. I guess I'm making up for the years I didn't go. Good for you, Sonny, going to the gynecologist. Good. I bought and learned how to use a chainsaw. I'm in the middle. There you go, Megan. It's a fine place to be. Not exactly the same, but called a meeting with the CFO to discuss my job and salary at 11 a.m. today. Oh, Stephanie, good for you too. Wait, is that my Stephanie? Because you're not getting it's Stephanie Filippo. You're not getting any money. But Stephanie, other Stephanie's, good for you. Oh my goodness. All the other Stephanies, congratulations. Oh, Stacy French, that sounds exciting. Like learning to use a tractor and a chainsaw, to sheetrocking, to digging water trenches and painting the house. Anne-Marie, can you move here? I also got a big girl job after 16 years of being a stay-at-home mom. Now I'm killing it in an awesome career. Christina, good for you. I just drove back to Iowa from Florida with 2 kids under 5. Sheila, girl, that's big girl stuff. Rosie, how are you feeling? Our friend Rosie, Army Rosie, is sick, so she's been in bed for a few days. I know. Good for you guys. Look at all the big girl stuff happen. I did buy a clawfoot tub. It was used, but I had it redone. That's been years ago, though. Wow. So fun. I saw you wrote, "The guy's the limit." And I was like, "The guy's the limit." I think she means sky, but I'm going to keep it as "the guy's the limit." I'm going to be a big girl and get back to work. Annette, boo. I'm only kidding. But I'm not. Okay, this is happening. This is happening. They're so funny. What's she doing? What's your leg doing? I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what Lulu's doing. They're being so weird. I don't know what's going on with her leg. Now she's doing this again on the floor. Lou, what are you doing? What are you doing? Come here. Come talk to everybody. She's like, okay. She real dramatic, you guys. Muscle cramp? Yeah. What are you doing? She's like, let me tell you what happened. What happened was, okay. Okay. All right. Let me tell you. Okay, boss. Okay. She got the bad leg. Exactly. Okay. All right. Is there something you wanted to talk about, or is this just who we are? Okay. All right, Lou. I didn't give her meds yet. I feel like maybe somebody's feeling some kind of way. She's definitely not shy anymore. That is for sure. Yeah, just give me a minute to get up on this table. Just dropped off number 3 of 4 off at college yesterday. My heart can't take this growing up stiff. Way too quiet in my house this morning. Oh, Kimberly, I get you. It gets better. And then you'll have a nice house and you'll buy nightstands and you'll have a morning show. And then your kids will come back and they'll ruin it. And you'll be like, you should leave. And that's life, Kimberly. And then you get to wash your hair and you'll get new earrings and maybe new underwear. And it's all new and it's very exciting. Yes. There is a guest today and we are about to bring him on. And I'm super excited about him. And I think that you guys are going to be, because Lou, do you want to? Okay. She is like the Statue of Liberty, though. Let's just do it like this. So you know that we love talking about lots of different things here. We had a whole conversation about rice yesterday, and I think we can all agree that jasmine rice is the best rice. And I guess it depends on what you might be eating, but that's where we've landed. But every year, I have told you about, in some capacity, there is an annual award ceremony based on science. And I know I've talked about it in the past. They're called the Ig Nobel Award Awards. And I stumbled upon them a few years ago and fell in love with them. I had no idea that they existed. And I thought it was like a one-off. I was like, oh, this is funny. But then after doing some more research, it turns out that they've been around forever, and they award scientists who are making strides in things that we didn't even know needed to be researched, or in some way are quirky or funny. Our guest today is going to be able to explain it a lot better than myself, because he is the leader of this awesome group. And I asked him to come on to tell us about the history of these awards, some of the fun things that they are researching, how we can learn more about it. I'm positive there's no way we could win one. Maybe if we thought about it, but I just watched his TED Talk, which we're going to give you a link to, which was hilarious. And he says, if you try to win the award, you can't. It's like so low. You have to like win it by accident. So we'll just have to do a number of scientific awards, of scientific experiments, in the hopes that one day Mark will see it and be like, this should be like, why does Lulu, what could we test? Why do boxers have such angry face? Okay. All right. She's not willing to try. So today we're talking about the Ig Nobel Awards, and our guest today is Marc Abrahams. Please welcome him to the show. Marc Abrahams.
Hey.
Hi, Marc.
Hi, good morning. That is a lovely dog you have.
This is Lulu. I'm not sure how long she'll last now that she knows that there's more than just, okay, get off the table. Get down. I'm sorry. Our co-host is somewhat unreliable. But welcome. I am such a fan of you and everything that you do. Is it just called IG Awards? Is that?
It's the Ig Nobel Prizes. We've been doing these since when? 1991, every year. We give out 10 prizes, and these are for things, these are unusual. You know, most prizes in the world are for the very best of something, like the Olympics for the best athletes, or the Academy Awards for the best movie performances and things. There are a few awards are for the worst things, the worst dress.
Yeah.
With us, with the Ig Nobel Prizes, it's different. It's not for the best or the worst. Best, worst is irrelevant. Good or bad, that's irrelevant. Important or not, that's irrelevant. The thing with the Ig Nobel Prize is if you win a prize, it means you've done something that makes people laugh and then think. You've done something that when anybody in the world, no matter who they are, first hears about it, their first reaction is just going to be to laugh. But then there's something about it that sticks in their head. And a week later, all they want to do is tell their friends about it.
Yes.
So that's if we've done a good job choosing. And every year we get something like 10,000 new nominations for the prize.
Okay, so I want to tell you the articles that I read that first got my attention. So you might know what year it was, but it was the article that said that you can identify narcissists by their eyebrows. That they had tested a number of college students, 100 college students, gave them all a narcissism test. They discovered which ones were narcissists. Then they took a full picture, showed it to their participants and said, can you pick out the narcissist? And they couldn't. So then they started really kind of focusing on specific features. So first just the lips were showed. They couldn't pick the narcissist, then the nose and the eyes. Then the eyes did have a little bit of a spike. So they said, well, there's something about the eyes. And then they just did the eyes, and then they just did the eyebrows. And with statistical significance, they could identify a narcissist by their eyebrows. And I was obsessed. I was like, what? And then I told all my friends, like you said, and all of us were like, oh, how do you tell? What are we doing to our eyebrows? It was so funny.
Yeah. Did all of your friends do what you just did and immediately cover their eyebrows?
Yes. It was crazy. Because
may I ask you a question? In your experience with your friends, when you told them about that, you have a lot of friends and they all have probably 2 eyebrows each.
Let's hope so.
Yeah. You don't have to answer this question, but the question is, in your experience with your friends, is
Yeah.
that accurate? Does their eyebrows, well, does the shape of their eyebrows predict which ones are narcissists?
Here's what I'll say, Mark, and I'm going to say this as nicely as I can, that I won't necessarily call them friends, but I have known people who have very coiffed,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know that we hang out a lot, Mark.
Huh. Interesting. Yeah. See, a lot of these things, science things and everything else, when you first hear about them, you hear about them as if that's an ironclad rule. It's always the case. And maybe that's true and maybe it's not. One of the nice things is once you've got that idea in your head, you can start testing that yourself against what you see every day.
Yes. Now, there was another one, which I have not been able to test, and I feel like you'll understand why.
Okay.
This one was research that was done. What is the best way to transport a rhinoceros?
Mm-hmm.
Is it to knock it out, lay it on its side, and move the platform? But they were saying that when they did that, they tranquilized the rhinoceros, they put it on its side, tied it down, and moved it, that the blood pressure was dropping too low.
Yeah.
So they wanted to come up with other ways. And they found that by tranquilizing it, turning it completely upside down, and carrying it by its feet,
Dangling it from a helicopter.
yes, did less to hurt the rhinoceros than it would in others. It was crazy. And I was like, who came up with this? Like, we clearly have a problem with this rhinoceros.
Well, you're asking a really good question. Who came up with this? Most people would not come up with it because most people never have to deal with a rhinoceros, let alone deal with having a rhinoceros that's in danger of being sick or something else and has to be moved somewhere else. How do you move a rhinoceros?
Yeah.
The people who did this are veterinarians
Yeah.
and people who run some national parks in the southern part of the African continent, where there are a lot of rhinoceroses, some of whom have to be moved.
Yeah,
Well, if you're the one to do it, you better figure out how to do it, and you don't want to kill them. So by trying different things, they figured this out. And that's a good example of how with these prizes, a lot of things seem just insane when you hear about it. Sometimes that's just because you would normally never run across this. Now, everybody has stuff like that in your life.
Mm-hmm.
And for you and anybody, if you think about, say, pick a day, say Wednesday mornings at 10 o'clock, and you go to your annual family party and you meet, say, your grandparents who want to know, hey, I want to know what you do for work. I really want to know, not just, the 3-word thing. Tell me what you do on a Wednesday morning at 10 o'clock for the next 5 minutes in detail.
Uh-huh.
And if you start telling somebody what you do normally in detail, the words coming out of your mouth start to sound pretty strange to you.
Uh-huh.
And that's true for everybody. So, the fact that something seems crazy and makes you laugh, that doesn't tell you whether it's crazy or normal or whatever. Everybody has this stuff. So all we're doing is kind of holding up things and saying, you probably don't run across this, but look at it.
And what made you all think to even start this back in the 90s?
Back in 1990, I sort of by accident became the editor of a science magazine.
Me too. The same thing happened.
I was wondering if there was somebody else.
Yeah.
What happened was I had always written funny stuff about science since I was a kid. And one day I started to wonder, can I get something published in a magazine? Because I'd never tried.
Uh-huh.
So I sent some stuff off to a magazine, and I got a phone call a couple weeks later from someone who said, hi, I'm the publisher of the magazine. Got your articles. Would you be the editor of the magazine? So that's how I got into this world. And suddenly I was meeting all kinds of people, famous scientists, Nobel Prize winners, people who've done just odd things who are not famous. And I started to think about these people who've done these astounding things, who nobody knows about, and thinking, there are all these people, they're going to go their whole lives, they're going to die, and nobody will ever know.
Nobody will know. I know.
Nobody should do something. So That's how it started. Let me show you. I've got a sort of little museum behind us of some of the
Well,
things
I
that
have
won
to tell
prizes.
you, I'd love to tell you, Mark, that my people are like super serious and are like, but the entire time you've been talking, they've been tearing apart everything on the rack behind you, the giant thing that says pills, the glasses with the head. So yes, please do it up, whatever you're going to show us.
The stuff on top, those are all Ig Nobel Prizes. We make a different design every year, always made from cheap materials. The winners always come from around the world to a ceremony we have at Harvard University in Massachusetts. And we always have a bunch of real Nobel Prize winners on stage to shake their hands and hand them these Ig Nobel Prizes. There's video of that on the
I know, I saw it. I want to come. I want to come this year. I'm going to
see the red thing behind me.
Yeah.
Let me show you that. I wonder.
Oh,
if
I
you
saw this in the video. I saw. You guys have to watch this in the TED Talk. Go ahead, Mark. Tell them.
This is it's now a product, but this was an invention called the emergency bra. Dr. Elena Bodnar, who at that time was at the University of Chicago Medical School, invented this. And it's a bra with an unusual design. In her patent, it explains that in an emergency, this can be quickly separated into a pair of protective face masks. And it has extra things so you can put it around your face. And one to save your life, one to save the life of a lucky bystander. Now, this was about 12 or 15 years ago. She got so much publicity around the world for this that she hired a factory in China to manufacture it. These are now on sale. There are thousands of people wearing these every day. But the story of why she did this, nobody would ever guess at. She grew up in the country of Ukraine, country that now pretty much everybody in the world is familiar with if they weren't before. That's where she went to medical school. Right after she got out of medical school, the Chernobyl power plant in Ukraine melted down. Dr. Bodnar was one of the doctors who treated a lot of victims of the Chernobyl power plant meltdown. And ever since then, she and some of the other doctors have been wondering and talking about what could we possibly do so that anybody anywhere could be a little bit protected if some horrible emergency happens and the air is filled with stuff they shouldn't breathe. Because at Chernobyl, she said, they discovered the really bad medical thing was the little particles, radioactive particles in the air. And if you were outdoors and you breathe them in, they get in your lungs and they're going to stay there the rest of your life. And that's really bad. So she and her husband, who also is a scientist, moved to America. They had a baby. And one day her infant son was on the floor of their apartment playing with his mommy's bra and picked it up and put it over his face. And that's where the idea came from. The emergency bra.
And I think it was in your TED Talk. You showed a little clip of it, and it was awesome because in the middle of the ceremony, this fabulous woman scientist goes up, takes her bra off on stage, detaches it, and then puts it on the face of these the economics guy and a physics guy, these very straight-laced guys. It was so fun.
Yeah, that was quite a wonderful moment. And it's a little better than that because the Nobel laureates there who are handing out the prizes, they don't know until that moment on stage who won the prizes or what they did. We keep that secret until that moment. So you had these three distinguished male scientists who 1 minute before had just heard about the existence of this bra. Dr. Bodnar, as you saw, is a very elegant woman.
Yes.
And so she got up, gave her acceptance speech, and we keep those really short, 1 minute. She reached into her décolletage, picked out the bra, opened it up, and she looked over and said, I've got all these Nobel Prize winners here. I wonder if three of you could help me demonstrate. And that was the first public demonstration of the emergency bra. And the looks on those men's faces.
So funny. One guy was really taking it in. He was very into his mask. So
yeah, well put. Yes.
That's so fun. That's so fun. So what in your mind after doing it all these years, are there certain other ones that stand out to you that have been like particularly funny or
Oh,
have
there's so many, you know, there have
attention?
been 10 a year since 1991. So we've given more than 300 of these. There's a whole list on our website, improbable.com. This year's winners are going to be announced a month from now on September 14th. That's the webcast.
Okay.
And the winners already know who they are, but nobody else knows who they are.
So exciting.
I should mention also, I'll answer your question in a sec, but we learn about most of these. We're always looking, but most of the things that win, we learn about it because one person somewhere in the world knows about it and they tell us.
Huh.
You know, so if you, Dena, but anybody listening, if you ever run across somebody or hear of somebody who you know they should win one of these Ig Nobel Prizes, don't just tell your 3 best friends, then tell us, and maybe they will win a prize.
And tell everybody, because these are pretty prestigious with big awards. You've mentioned the trophies behind you. What do people win?
They win an Ig Nobel Prize. It's you can see up there. Here's one of them. We pick a theme every year for the show, for the ceremony. This theme was chemistry that year. So this was the oxygen, nitrogen, all these different elements. This was a chemistry. Bad.
Oh, got it. All right.
But it's a completely different design every year. We don't have any money, but we did figure out a way to give some cash to the new winners. And now each new winning team gets a lot of cash. They get $10 trillion. They get a $10 trillion bill from Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe had a little inflation problem some years ago, and they were printing bills as high as $100 trillion on the face of it. They later declared these things are no longer money, so you can buy them for about $4 each on eBay and lots of places.
It's so awesome. Has anyone ever won more than once?
Yeah, there are several people who've won a couple of Ig Nobel Prizes.
Really?
There's one person who won an Ig Nobel Prize and then 10 years later won a Nobel Prize. We're quite happy with that for different things. But the thing he won a Nobel Prize for sounds even goofier than the thing he won an Ig Nobel Prize for. He won his Ig Nobel Prize in the year 2000 because he and another scientist took some magnets and they used magnets to levitate a frog. Something that sounds impossible, but it turns out physics explains it. And even physics professors around the world didn't believe it until they saw it. And then they got the physics explanation. So it was some good science that got spread around.
Right.
10 years later, completely different project. He, the same scientist and one of his students, kind of fooling around on a Friday night, which they do
I fool around on
as
Friday.
a habit.
Right.
Well, you might win something.
Yeah, tell me. How do I get in on this?
They were able to make the first samples of a substance called graphene. You may have heard of. It's been in the news a lot. Everybody has it. In a pencil, the gray part of the pencil, the stuff we see when we write, it's called graphite. Graphite really, if you had a way of looking under a extremely powerful microscope, it's really millions and billions of layers of flat chicken wire shaped stuff. It's like sheets that are so thin they stick together. And chemists always knew that if they could get a hold of a little bit and separate these sheets, it probably behaves in interesting ways, but they could never separate them. And in fact, once these guys did separate them, it turns out whole industries around the world are forming and people are discovering this stuff might be more useful than silicon, which is what is the basic thing in most of our computers and lots of other stuff. The way they did it though, was they did what every little kid did. They took a pencil and a piece of paper and they scribble on the paper. Right. And then they took some Scotch tape and you put that on there and you pick it up and now it's gray stuff and they just flexed it. So it's all this little gray stuff is floating down. and they put it under a microscope, and they had just teased out these little samples that they could start measuring. And now, as I said, billions of dollars of investment from industry, from governments around the world are all growing and growing and growing, all because on a Friday night, these people were fooling around with a pencil and a paper and a little piece of Scotch tape.
I wonder what I could discover with bourbon on a Friday, because I feel like if I drank enough bourbon, Mark, something would come out of that. I don't know that it's going to win a Nobel Prize.
Well, you don't know until you try. Exactly. And I don't know about bourbon for sure, but we gave an Ig Nobel Prize to some Mexican physicists a few years ago because they used tequila.
Okay, go on.
To make diamonds.
What?
It's possible to make diamonds from tequila. Anything that has carbon in it, there's a way to make it into diamonds. Little tiny diamonds, but those are the most useful industrially and otherwise. And they did that partly.
Our next diamond is coming from a liquor store, is what I hear you saying.
Well, good. Then you're not just throwing your money around at the expensive stuff.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. And let me suggest something that will brighten the day of almost anybody. It's 4 words. All right. You mentioned the TED Talks. So everybody knows about the TED Talks.
Okay.
Go and Google 4 words. TED Talk, dead duck. TED Talk, dead duck. You will see something that will surprise you, that you will want to tell everybody you've ever met all about.
Hey, and does this somehow go back to the Ig Awards?
Yes, it's a TED Talk by somebody who won an Ig Nobel Prize, and he talks about how it changed his life.
I love everything you do, Mark.
Oh, well, thank you.
Everything. How can normal people attend this event? Do you need help hosting? Can I do comedy? What can I do? I'll write.
Let me start by asking you a question about the first thing you said. You mentioned normal people. Have you ever met a normal person, even one in your lifetime?
No.
What is a normal person?
No. No, we thrive on not normal people. That is what we do.
You know, that's a big part of what makes me so happy about doing the stuff I do, is that there are lots of people who seem normal, and they kind of are. But when you get to know anybody, everybody's a lot more interesting than just normal.
Yes.
They might not show it to you for a while until they trust you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But once they do, aren't you a lot happier knowing that person once you start to see all the...
I love it. I even love just the clips that you were showing in the TED Talk. And then I saw was it a PBS interview as well that I saw? And just in the clips of the stage, because the clips that you're watching, I'm like, at one point, everybody starts throwing paper airplanes at the winners. Is that right?
Yeah, that's a tradition that the audience started the second year. A lot of people in the audience started bringing paper, and they make it into paper airplanes, which they throw, and the people on stage throw it back. There are a lot of little traditions like that. Once the pandemic hit, we had to stop doing it on stage. So we've been doing it just online the last few years, and we're really eager. We hope soon, some years soon, to go back to doing it on stage.
So it won't be on stage this year?
Well, it'll be on the internet. We do it a different way, but it won't be on the stage with everybody in the same room.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's Sanders Theater. That's at Harvard University, and that's the biggest theater at Harvard. It's also the biggest classroom at Harvard. Fits about 1,200 people. And most of those people, this is the moment you're looking at with the
bras. Yeah. Oh, it's so funny. So when do you think you'll be back in person? Because that looked like it was so fun, just the energy in the room.
Yeah, I hope some year soon. I really hope some year soon.
Yeah.
You know, this pandemic is going on longer than people are quite admitting. And we are trying to be very careful about not making people get illness.
Yeah.
But, we we miss being able to be there, watching all these people bounce off each other, and the audience gets to talk to them afterwards. And you can see, even in the videos, but it's of course better in the room, when we announce a winner who is secret and we explain in one sentence what they've done, you can see the scientist, the famous scientist who's shaking their hand, is just as thrilled at meeting them as they are at meeting this famous scientist.
Oh, I was going to say, there's something I think too. I mean, I have always loved science, and I'm a nerd myself. And so to see something that is not the same old kind of stuffy, traditional, that there's like a real lovely air just in the pictures and the video of just a camaraderie that must be so lovely. And the fact that it's always, you know, the lighter side, and it's great science, and maybe is the beginning of some other great discovery down the road. So to see scientists come together and have that much fun together, and really just talk about, like you're saying, I mean, for a lot of these people, this is their life's work, you know, that, you know, we're talking about moving rhinoceri, which is it rhinoceri the word, or is it rhinoceros?
I'm not sure. You might want to ask the next veterinarian you happen to run into.
But you know, it sounds like funny research, but for the people that have spent years working on it, I mean, these are big, important things that the way that you put it all together and the way that you break it down into the 10 different categories, I think it also just makes it so that, like you were saying, that some of the things that are in there, you know, we can really apply to our own lives in some ways, which I thought is also very interesting, because there are lots of, you know, huge science discoveries happening that we're like, oh, well, I don't know what that's going to mean, but some of them, you know, I mean,
and some of them are tiny. Also, it's not just science. We give prizes in anything. We often give a literature prize. We've given a couple of prizes in art. You know, plastic pink flamingos. We gave an Ig Nobel Prize to the person who created the plastic pink flamingo, whose name is Don Featherstone. And for many years, he came to the ceremony. We invite the winners. You can come back every year, be on stage, take a bow.
Right.
And people fell in love with him, understandably. And he would come every year. He died a few years ago, I'm sad to say, but he had become a good friend also. And he and his wife, Nancy, for all the many years they were married, every single day, the two of them would wear matching clothing, always with flamingos in the design. So people were always so happy when Don and Nancy would get up on stage holding a plastic pink flamingo and take a bow again.
Oh, I love it. Well, listen, this has been such a treat. If there's any way you need a comedian down the road at any point,
thank you.
Keep me in mind, but I will definitely be following all the things that you're doing. And when you announce those winners, we will definitely be talking about them here on our morning show and sending followers your way. I think it's really wonderful what you do. And I think it's really great. I think one of the reasons we talk about it is because it is funny, but I think it's really great to just talk about science. And I love the bra story and women in science and the great strides women are making, just being moms and doing everyday things and finding out, you know, solutions to things that might be.
You know, you walk along the street and the stranger next to you probably has done all kinds of stuff you would love to know about. And you would love to tell your friends about, but they're a stranger, so you don't know. So that, you know, kind of is what we're doing, is finding these things that not many people know about, that everybody would want to know about, and just putting them out there.
Yeah, and I think that you are one of those people. I think if somebody was to walk by you, they wouldn't know what a great community you've created just in your own right. So
I'm just a normal person.
I don't know. You did some fun
just like you.
Bringing a lot of fun people together, a lot of smart people. So, so thank you so much. Let's hear it for Marc, doing a great job today. Thank you for getting up and sharing your story. And we'll be sure to check in. If there's any way we can help to promote anything you're doing, let us know. We're big fans.
Thank you very much.
All right. We'll see you. Thanks, Marc. Bye-bye. Was Marc not amazing? He was on our show. I'm so excited that you all got to meet him. I'm so excited you got to hear more. about these awards because I'm such a science nerd at heart. And I think that anytime that we can kind of look at things in a different way and always be funny is always a great thing. So, so what a treat today. Michelle, let's hear for sexy producer Michelle, nailing it. I'm telling you, I have really enjoyed the addition of our guests. I think that it's been really lovely to really just meet people who are doing such great things in their corners of the universe. And I hope that, I know I really wanted him to go through the items on the third shelf of his museum. I feel like we could just do another whole show where we just look at all the stuff on the shelf at Marc's house. I'm like, Marc, do the next week, shelf number 2. And we can just go from shelf to shelf. I don't know what we're going to do with bourbon. We have to come up with something. And so Marc's like, Dena, it's your time. This is your year. And we've been following it. And you've drunk enough bourbon to create a diamond. And that's it. And my head will be a giant diamond. And that's how I'll get noticed. I don't know. But I am going to do something with them because I love it. I love everything about it. So I hope you enjoyed today's show. And I thank you for watching. As always, we'll be back here tomorrow. And rounding out the week, hopefully you have some great plans for the weekend. Remember, it's Friday Eve, so do something fun this Thursday, and do like our friend Judy from Saskatoon says, do something nice for yourself or for others today. And I hope you have a great day and a blessed day, and I look forward to seeing everybody tomorrow. All right, have a good one, everybody. See ya.
Hey guys, if you enjoyed today's morning show, make sure to follow us for more OneFunnyMother content.
Okay, all right. Morse code is tapping.
And check out OneFunnyMotherStore.com for great new inappropriate swag. And for more exclusive content, consider becoming a supporter.
She got a bad leg.
Thanks again, and we'll see you tomorrow on One Funny